you know your knowledge so much is that instead
It's
of
not
getting
about
into
my
the
knowledge.
nitty
It's not
gritty,
about
you
that,
like to
Summer.
correct people on what it really truly is rather
No,
than
that's
looking
not what
at
it's
the essence of
about.
the conversation sometimes.
That's
That's
not what
all.
it's about.
Well,
That's not
can
what it's about.
yeah.
It's not
Sometimes,
about me
not all
trying
the
to.
time. I get it.
Harwin
I
ain't
get
up
it.
here, man. I swear to God, Harwin ain't up here to just to display he knows so much. Like I'm not no lame. To me, that's a lame. What?
No, no.
But I'm saying to me, that's a lame. You may not agree. To me, somebody
Yeah.
spewing knowledge, random knowledge, just to be doing it is lame. That's
No,
Well,
not
I
what
don't
I'm
think you're
doing.
doing that just to be.
no,
I'm not saying that. Okay.
Oh, but that's what it sounds like. But what I'm
no.
saying is
Here,
this.
No, no, I'm not saying that at all. No, I'm not.
Okay, but what I'm saying is still important to when we talking about what's good for the soul. If
I
somebody,
said that.
Summer, yeah, but Summer, if I told you a lie and consistently
mm,
told you a lie and told you another lie and told you another lie, would you believe anything that come out my mouth?
No,
Okay, so if belief is our salvation, even though it says he shall know the truth, why are we taking beliefs over wanting to know?
well, see, here's the thing. I
Here we
personally
go.
don't. I personally don't believe some of the theology that Harwin spits. Just no offense, right? I'm
Ain't
more
no
of
offense
a,
taken.
you know, I'm more of the effect of it is what it is. Either you're gonna read the whole thing, decide for yourself if you're gonna believe it or not. And even when the things that you don't understand that we cannot substantiate because like knowledge, right? One of the things that I love when people talk about translations, terrible, what we see as terrible today and how we use it does not mean that 100 years ago, or I mean 1,000 years ago, didn't even mean it 2,000 years ago, right? When we're talking about certain words and how we use them, like think about how we use bad.
That's
Do you know
not what
how
I'm
many
talking
years
about,
ago
Becky.
we didn't even use
That's
bad
not.
in the positive connotation? We use it in negative connotation. If
I
someone
agree,
read how we wrote certain things right now or heard certain music, they'd be like,
but
"Oh,
but that's
you're
not what I'm talking
changing
about,
things."
Becky.
If someone years later redid Michael
Becky,
Jackson's no, wait, I'm wait, hold on. If someone years later redid Michael Jackson's song and said she looked banging instead of or whatever the terminology is for someone really looking good, or
yeah, it is
whatever, right?
banging. Yeah, I got you.
Right? We'd be
Yeah,
like,
like
"Oh my god, it's changed." Well, no, they
yeah,
use
but
the
that's
current
not what I'm talking about,
terminology
Becky.
to define what it
That's
meant
not
back
what I'm
then.
talking about, Becky.
So, wait,
I'm a
no,
linguist, Becky.
I understand that,
So
but
when you
you're
do
also
linguistics,
no.
listen. When
Listen,
you
I'm trying to say for people. This isn't for you, Harvard. I'm more so talking to the
but
people.
you talking to
No,
me, and then we
I'm
both
talking
talking to the
about
people listening.
people listening. Yes, just like you talk to people listening, I'm about to talk to them listening. Right. So one of the things that I always tell people to do is don't take anybody's word for nothing. I don't care if
For
it's
sure.
me, the preacher, your mama, your daddy, whomever. Read the Bible for yourself. Get as many translations as you need for yourself. Look at all the historical context, the Jewish culture, the Babylonian cultures, the Macedonian cultures, the whatever you need to look at for Roman cultures for yourself. Make the decision for yourself about if you believe this text is true or not. Because at the end of the day, we're going to argue our personal perspectives, as someone else said, right? We're going to argue our perspectives, but the belief in the Bible is a miraculous one. The belief in Jesus is a miraculous event. There's no type of nothing that's going to help you to say he is the way, the truth, and the light, and no man will go to the Father but through him.
It,
I
it,
mean,
it is when there's older texts that say that that's in different cultures. So this is
no,
the
it
problem.
won't.
This,
No, that
it
will help
will it
you,
will
but I'm
because
telling
it's
you, Harwin,
listen,
I'm
But
telling
Becky.
but
you,
but what if that was not the first time that ever existed or
Yeah,
happened?
that's what I just
because
said.
the
But sister,
prophecies have been prophesied since the beginning of time. If you understand
but the
how the
problem
Bible
is
is
when
written, right?
Africans prophesy it though, Becky, it's
But
called pagan and
it's
devil worship.
thank you.
When they
It's all
prophesy
the
it, they call it Greek translating the Bible, and it's okay for them to have wings on. But when people, if I was to put up a picture of an ancient Egyptian so-called god, people will call it pagan. When pagan just simply means outer field. Simply mean that somebody who's on the outside. So they're saying, "Oh, you're less than us, so you're thinking different from us, and you guys are Hamites, and you come from Ham, from the book of Noah, and you're cursed." Even though it says Canaan is cursed, but we're going to say Ham is cursed, even though the Bible says something different. But we're going to give you a Bible, and it's going to have little white people with wings, and that's fine. And we can have Catholic Church dedicated to Saint Michael the angel and Saint Mary and this, and that's not
Which is
pagan
not
worship.
biblical,
But
and it
but
is
when you
pagan
see
worship.
my point, but my point is this though, Becky,
well, who
when you say
determines what is
when
pagan?
you say that's my point.
We
When you
determine
say
it. Well,
We're
when
not
we're
talking
arguing,
about
we're determining it based on the Bible. So,
yeah, the Bible. But again, the Bible has been changed, and you're trying to diminish what I'm saying in the sense of I'm talking about translations like it's a word that you have to understand in that ancient time and how they use it at that time. I
Who wrote
understand
the
that. I'm a
Bible?
linguist.
Who
I
wrote the
speak
Bible?
multiple. 1 second, sister, please. I read these languages for real. Like not no game. So when we look at this, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual specific words that were purposefully removed and other words were inserted that meaning something completely different at the time it was inserted. When the Septuagint and the Dead Sea Scrolls in Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9, theirs is closely very similar. But when you look at Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9 from the Masoretic text, which is which is what the King James Version is saying, it's saying something completely different. It's a completely different concept that from now in 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, it's giving you an idea.
I still got a video to review.
It's
But
okay, cool. It's
I
giving you Becky, it's a completely different idea.
I will say this is that, when it really comes down to it, if you actually go to Egypt, you'll see all the concepts in the Bible actually on the actual pyramids. So which existed way before the Bible was ever written. So when you can actually go to the pyramids and see the things on the wall that are in the Bible, like what came first, the chicken or the egg? So the concepts in the Bible come from concepts that existed way before it ever existed.
And
And
one is demonized and the other ain't demonized. And we gonna act like it ain't.
well, one, I mean, so one of the things that I always be like about, right, is carbon dating, right? And so when you say, oh, this existed before the Bible, one, that could be true if you are in the belief that from Genesis, right, to Deuteronomy, the written word is not the written word, right, was not supposed to have started until the time of Moses.
But we
So
don't
if
have
we
no
believe,
text from Moses' time period, Becky.
okay,
So
when
that
was
disproves what you're
papyrus
saying.
invented?
We have no papyrus written by Moses at all.
First of all, when was papyrus? Because papyrus come from Egypt. Okay,
well, right,
so
but they were
like,
in
so how
Egypt
did they write
according
the
to the
Bible
biblical text.
down?
Yeah,
How
they
did they
were.
write
I
the
agree,
Bible
Becky.
down prior to Egyptian writing
I
in the
agree, Becky. They
pyramids?
were
That's
We
in
didn't
Egypt.
older
write down
than papyrus.
anything. We didn't
Y'all
write down
did,
anything but
because when
on
you look at the
caves and
Sadabet El
oration.
Kadim text, it is written down. It's written down at the El Sadabi Kadim. This is why the Hebrew alphabet is nothing more than a watered down Egyptian alphabet. You can see it. You can see them
Well,
worshiping El and the El Sadabit Kadim. You see it, and it's a picture of a so-called Egyptian deity that they're calling El. But if you was to put up an Egyptian picture for Becky, I guarantee you she would call it pagan. I guarantee you she will call it a false god. But in the oldest Canaanite and Israelite versions of worshiping El, Yahweh, etc., you will see motifs that is clearly Nubian. And then if anybody show that, they will be called pagan. They would say you're worshiping idols. Then they will use the book of Exodus and say, see, in Exodus, they were doing this. But they won't tell you that in the other parts of the Bible, Assyrians were oppressing people. Those are not indigenous Egyptians. They won't go to the book of Second Kings. They won't go to the book of Second Kings and see that Yahweh saw fit to have Taharka the Nubian come save King Hezekiah. They won't go look at Hezekiah's seal and see that his unks on there. Would you call that idol worship? Of course you would if you didn't know the history. But when you know the history of it, you clearly see a whole concept and cultures have been changed. People have been called pagan, that's been plagiarized. Becky?
And here's the thing: is that when you actually dig deeper into the Bible, all this stuff came out of Ethiopia, and then you got this Pauline thing that you call Christianity that's based on the New Testament. That's being a Paulism. That's not even Paulism is what you are practicing. Not even modern. It's Paul is the person, and he came way after Jesus. He wasn't even a disciple. He wrote the book of all the new, a lot of the books in the New Testament. Paul.
He wrote some of those epistles. He ain't write all of them.
All right, let me get
he
back to
wrote them
the
all.
video.
Mhm.
I understand it. When you go to prison, you are convicted of a crime
So
and you
sin,
are sending of your time.
original
Yes.
sin.
Yes, the original sin. But when God first created the earth and he created Adam and Eve and humans, he said it was beautiful and he was pleased with his creation. After our choice of sin, then we now have the sin and the consequences that come from that. But we were not born with sin.
So
Adam,
you don't agree with the Bible?
I do agree with the Bible. Yes, I have questions about certain things, but I don't believe that prison, I don't believe the earth is a prison. I believe that the life that we have and the earth is what you make of it. You can choose to live a miserable life. You can be in prison in your mind. I choose to look at the blessings that we have, the bountiful goodness that we have, the forgiveness that we have, the grace that we have, the beauty all around us. I really think it's up to you to decide, and that's what I choose.
Do you
That's
think
my faith.
atheists don't look at the beauty and look at
No,
that?
absolutely. As far as I know, and I'm not
So
a
it's not
religious,
exclusive to Christians.
absolutely not. And I said that. I know that there are several faiths that came before Jesus was here, and I respect everybody else's faith. As I understand it, and I'm not a religious scholar, but atheists don't believe in the God of the Bible. But you can look at the majesty all around you. You can look at the ocean, you can look at the mountains, you can look at a beautiful flower, colors, and you can appreciate that beauty.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely.
this isn't really, if you don't debate and you're telling me about all these beautiful things, maybe you're not the person I should be talking to, because I
That's
want to
fine.
speak to someone who actually would be able to dispute the information that I'm presenting. You're not really disputing anything that I'm saying.
I'm not trying to convince you. That's
Okay.
why it's
Well, that's
faith.
great.
It's a
I
choice.
love you for that. I would like to speak to someone who wants to dispute the facts that I'm bringing out. If there's
Do you want to
anybody
make
else
a
who could
Do you want to make
that.
a final statement?
Yeah, my final statement is that I believe in the God of the Bible. I am a Christian. It is a choice. It is faith. We don't have all the answers, but I believe in promoting marriage and family, and that's why I'm here. And I believe that's what we're supposed to do.
That's awesome. Is there any Christian here that believes that Jesus is not the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3? Well, you're not debating me though. You're being
Hold on, is she saying Jesus is a serpent in the Bible?
She's saying that Jesus is the serpent in the garden of in the
That's what she
Bible.
claiming. I
Boy,
don't
that is,
agree with that, but
boy,
I
that is,
understand.
boy, that
I
is,
know why she's saying it, but I don't
that
agree.
is insane.
And so then the girl says, well, no, the serpent was Lucifer, but they never got to the point of Jesus being the serpent, because what happened is that it became a whole discussion on femininity and being a feminist versus what feminine should be and how women should be, and that we should be docile and submissive and this, that, the other. And then 607 Unc got up there and was like, well, no, you're not being yourself because you're trying to pretend like you need to be this docile. I mean, it'll blow your mind when you watch it. It's like, what the fuck are what? And I'm like the woman, as much as she says that she's Christian, she don't know nothing about the Bible. Like when you actually talked about she the first part of it, she talked about Genesis, and that during Genesis that Elohim told Adam and Eve not to eat the fruit. It wasn't just it was Elohim, which is a group of deities.
And we already went over that.
Right. So that's what happened with that. So and then that whole thing went down. So now what I believe is that she's trying to promote her femininity and trying to teach people how to be feminine. And this is why I thought this was interesting, because accountability, right? And like, okay, is there a such thing as, I believe that there's two archetypes of women. You have a submissive type of woman, and then you have a more warrior type of woman. And that's what I really wanted to get into the part where she starts feminine versus the submissive versus the warrior type. And I think she's about to get into it coming up next.
super sweet and like telling me about your feelings about
No,
babies and puppies. I want to talk to someone about who will say, yeah, Jesus, because do you know Jesus? I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the garden.
we can have the conversation,
So
but
did Christ lie at all, ever?
no, the word says that Christ was sinless, and that is why he took on our sins. If you believe, I understand that you don't.
I do believe, actually, I do. I
Okay.
believe that Jesus is the serpent in the garden. I believe that Jesus is the historicity of Christ. But I know that there are lies being told to you, so you can believe otherwise. Why would a serpent be evil? How can a serpent even talk?
I believe in the polarity. For good, there's evil. For up, there's down. For bad, there's good. All right. I don't believe that Jesus is the serpent. The serpent is Satan. Maybe it's a representation. Maybe it's not Satan incarnate, but it is a representation of evil to tempt the woman who then disobeyed God. I do believe that that actually happened.
About to get into it. The woman that
Sorry?
disobeyed God. Here we go.
I disagree.
You can't disobey anything. You are beautiful, right?
Well, thank you. I'm not perfect.
You existed. Listen, that's how you popped up. It was God, right? And God was a basket of energy. Feminine existed. Energy just existed just because God was there. He was always there. You are the wisdom, right? You are the light of the world. Everything comes from you. But this one thing they did with history, they removed you. Right now, everybody that was taught, everybody watching this right now was taught by a woman, right? But in every book, it's a man that's doing the teaching and the telling. So you're defending man history. She's trying to tell you about yours, right? Because what's inside of you is something way more special than that story, right? They even track origins around. They do it the wrong way because they track it by men, but men have put you in prison. They have gave you their name because to track true orders, they got to track it from a woman. Because if I have sex with a woman, you don't know if that's my baby, but you know that baby came from that woman.
I disagree with you.
You know the baby came from a woman. You have a baby right now.
Yes, I have two sons. That is true. But what if I choose to give my name to my husband?
But we know the baby. I'm telling you about how they track things. We know for a fact it came from you. Right now, they track back origins right now from the woman DNA, not the man.
I understand that. However, I am pro-masculine and feminine. I don't believe that women are better.
Of course,
I think
you woman. That's the connection of both, right? That's the connection of the masculine and the feminine.
Right.
That's the true essence of what we are.
Yes, but you said that women are divine and we're perfect.
I said what we are.
I disagree.
I didn't disagree that women are divine and perfect.
Yes, ma'am. I disagree.
Do you disagree that, but you think that Jesus is divine and perfect as a man.
I believe Jesus is divine and perfect because he was the Son of God, not because he was a man.
Do you know the woman was the first existence, the feminine was the first existence?
I disagree.
Okay, well, you're a woman.
Yes.
You disagree? Did Adam? Did it say in the Bible that Adam didn't have a belly button?
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Did it say it? Did it say it?
It did not say
okay,
that.
wait. If it didn't say that, then just how you know that Adam came from a woman, because everything came from a woman, got a belly button.
I disagree.
And listen, you agree with everything? Everybody right now that came here can show you one of these.
I understand that.
Everybody can show you one of these.
Please don't shout.
Right?
I understand. However,
right. Listen, everybody got one of those. So listen. So if Adam had one of those,
yes,
he came from woman. Everything came from you, and you are beautiful.
Well,
find one thing in his existence right now that we can see that didn't come out of woman. Anything in nature.
Men are here to
name one thing in nature in history right now that didn't come out of female. Name one thing here now.
Creation. This table.
No. Name one thing here now that didn't come out of female.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question.
Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Name one baby born.
Oh, well, of course.
Hold up. Name one baby born that didn't come out of a woman.
Of course.
Okay, now name one animal that was born that didn't come out of a woman. Hold up. So woman created and brought everything into this existence.
With the man's seed. If I
No, women could do it without a man's seed. Listen, look, Jesus was born without a man's seed. He just said, believe it. Hold up. You say, the Holy Spirit was a man. The Holy Spirit was a man because it entered Mary. Yes. Right? Hold up. It entered Mary.
Yes.
Right? The entered means something. Right? Yes. I don't think you get it. Right? But you got to understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to take something away from you, but I'm telling you that you are everything. Nothing exists without you.
I think that's the problem that we have now, is telling women that they're everything. That's why we're
no, men ain't doing that. Men are telling women that everything based on attachments, based on they need them. I'm telling you so you can be free. I don't want to be attached to you.
I am.
Matter of fact, when you leave, I'm never gonna think of you again.
I understand that, and I won't remember you. I don't even know who you are.
No, you do know. You're gonna say you don't know who I am right now. I guarantee you, my voice gonna be stuck with you forever, and I guarantee you invented my voice.
I didn't invent anything.
All right, close your eyes right now. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, I love you. Right
no,
now,
you don't. You don't even know me.
I'm gonna say I love you. Right.
Okay.
Now hear that same thing I just said in your mind.
Of course, I can repeat.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it
yes,
in my
sir.
voice?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. So
Where did my voice come from? It came from you.
No,
hold
God
up. You just said you heard it in your own head, and everything exists in your head. Everything out here come from your head.
No,
so everything
you're
exists
wrong.
in you.
You're wrong.
Name one thing I heard that didn't come from your head.
Okay.
Name one thing I heard that wasn't a thought.
Would you like me
Name
to
one thing that's not a thought.
Would you like me to answer?
Name one thing that's not a thought, and I'll be done.
Okay, this table.
Is it
this
a thought? That
microphone,
wasn't a thought?
It started as a thought.
Okay. So the thought is the cause of it all. Listen, and inside, let me tell you something else.
Okay.
Listen, inside the thought,
yeah,
that's where you find perfection, right? Because right now,
I disagree. People think imperfect things all the time.
Think about a circle in your mind. Think of a square in your mind. Think of a triangle in your mind. Think of building a building in your mind. Anything you think in your mind, you can do it perfectly, right?
Well,
whoa. You can do it perfectly. Perfection exists inside of you, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you is that the moment you put it out here, it becomes a problem. But inside of you, perfection exists, right? And I just want to say that. I just want to say that you're a beautiful woman, and that
well, thank you for the
you should understand that.
I think that's interesting that you think I'm too sweet and you don't want to be here.
Used to people who are not as nice and sweet as you.
I think
So
that's
you
a
kinda
problem.
Threw me off. Good.
That is a
that's
good thing.
tactic.
If I may just respond to
Yeah.
what Mr. Unk said, as far as creation, I just want to say, because I believe in the Bible, and again, because it is a choice and because it is faith, God created the first man and the first woman and the first of each species.
I just asked you, if God created the first man, did it have a belly button? If it had a belly button, then God didn't create it. It came out of woman.
Okay,
So,
I don't know, and neither
You
do
can
you.
stop that, bro, because he
You
wild.
saw Adam's belly.
Listen, because that'd be something that they will have to tell you. That would be something.
No,
that,
they don't.
Wait, can we pause it?
Yeah, pause that because Buddy wilding right now. He wilding.
He said, "Did Adam have a belly button?"
See, that's a tactic that people use in the
That's
so-called
crazy.
conscious community to prove that point. But see, one day me and Big A had that conversation about that. He trying to talk about, and Dory just asked me that in the comment section, excuse me. Becky, he talking about the X chromosome, as I'm probably sure you probably know, as because he's saying something had to come that had a belly button. Okay, yada yada, we hear you. But there's a difference between the modern X chromosome and the modern Y chromosome that makes XY man and XX woman from the archaic X and the archaic Y. The archaic Y look nothing like the modern Y, just like the modern X look nothing like the archaic X chromosome. So when he say that woman was first, he trying to superimpose the mutations that we have dealt with over whatever how many thousands of years. Whatever he's saying is trying to conflate what it would have been in ancient, and I'm talking pre-ancient times, even longer before we was writing. So no, women wasn't first, but there was something that was here that was man and woman at the debatably the same time. You can whatever you want to believe in. We talking about now he's talking biology, so I'm not talking from a biblical standpoint. I'm strictly speaking on biology. What he's talking about is just pseudo.
Well, here's the question though: why is it that there are no male fossils that go as far back as the first female fossil?
What do you mean? The oldest Homo sapien that they have is the one found in Morocco that looked like 50 Cent. It's a male.
I'm hollering. Not look like 50 Cent.
It do though. Look at the reconstruction. It looked like 50.
Yo.
You know it do. Go back and look. It's called Jebel El Hood.
No, I've seen it.
You can't listen. See what they'll do is they'll find a
Sister, you asked me a question about the man and woman.
No, they'll you say it look like 50 Cent and all this. You can't go off of that depiction of what that fossil finally
Okay, well, you ain't got to go by the
find a piece
depiction,
of a
but we talking
dinosaur,
about the sex.
a half of a dinosaur, and make a whole dinosaur out of it. And the same thing they'll do with a human being. But what I'm saying is that actual, from what I understood is that actually there was a female actually found in not Morocco, but in Turkey. Because I did a whole thing about evolution and this debate with what's his name outside the queue when it talked about that. So I actually there's an older fossil and there's a feminine fossil. So I don't know. I would rather say I don't know than to pretend like I do. You know.
Well, I mean, if she believes in the Bible, of course it's going to be Adam was created, God opened up his rib, made Eve, right? So essentially neither of them, hypothetically speaking, if a belly button is a precursor, that you need an umbilical cord too, and we're saying that the assumption is that a belly button is only made when you come through a mother's womb, right? That's an assumption. then neither of them would have actually had belly buttons.
And there's also
Right.
like amoeba and other like single cell organisms. Come on, we can't.
So
So
no, we're talking
Yeah,
about
we
humans.
get into
We're
that,
talking about
Becky.
humans.
We get into
mammals
a
and stuff
slippery
like that.
slope talking about belly buttons. That's a tactic
Yeah, like that
people
belly
try to
button thing is
use
kind
Right.
of
to question Christians. See,
that's like Ashraf
I'm
crazy.
unbiased. I don't when it get crazy, it get crazy. If he
No,
gonna speak
Ashraf
from a
crazy was the first person to say that. Did he have a belly
nah,
button?
he ain't the first person to say that.
Or was
Dr.
it
Buster
John
Nah,
is the
that's
Henry
been
first.
Clark?
around
Was it
way longer.
It been around longer than
Was it
Ashraf
Joseph
crazy.
Ben Yakanan or John
No,
Henry?
way long. You're talking
Nah, a
about.
lot of people been asking them questions.
Yeah, this is the ancient thing that has come up ever since you talk about the Bible. People have been saying this for the longest. We like to believe that we just evolved to be this critical when the truth of the matter is that we're not.
We were
They've been
intelligently designed.
the
As everything
same
was
debate we're
intelligently
having
designed.
right now. They've been having ever since Jesus' time about
Even before him,
creation
it's
Before
been
Jesus'
had.
time, ever
and
since
stuff.
Jesus' time,
Yeah,
child.
Like,
You
like
gotta cut that out.
I'm talking
Because I'm
about as
no,
far
but
as
her point is that
creatures. Like,
it's an old conversation that we've been having for thousands of years. The point is this: there's intelligent design to everything, whether it's humans or whatever. And intelligent design is just a slick way for people that believe in science. And don't get me wrong, when I say science, I'm talking modern science, not knowledge. But people that
mhm.
believe in scientific theories that don't want to get into the religion of things try to run and say the creator, because most of the time these be
Mhm.
raving atheists, and I am completely against atheism. They don't got nothing to do
well,
with
no,
us.
Ankh is a Gnostic, and then I think Nepal is a Hebrew Israelite. But what about parthenogenesis? Do you think that exists? Is it a real thing?
Wait, I thought she's married
Parthenogenesis
to
exists in
a.
multiple creatures that exist.
So I believe, in my mind, is that there was a time when parthenogenesis was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that they did find fossils of like females, and how did like those old fossils procreate? You know, if you don't find the male next to the woman or somewhere around that area, how were they able to procreate? I believe in parthenogenesis. And then
Oh
even the
no,
Bible is saying that parthenogenesis, because how would Mary have Jesus? Because we want to say it was but even immaculate conception could actually be considered like different, because any birth by a virgin, even if
Yeah,
it
but then
has
they
sex,
ask you where the Y chromosome came from, and then it get real crazy.
well, no, they also so I mean, there's a sect of Christianity
They ask you like where
that
the Y
believes that
chromosome came
Jesus was
from.
completely divine, that the egg and the sperm, essentially what made him, was divinely entered, that he is not connected to
Damn, I can't
Mary.
even hear Becky.
Can you hear me? Can everybody else? Can you hear me?
Can everybody
I,
else hear
I can
me?
I can I can hear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
All right,
to
let me
to
go out
say
and come back
that
in.
neither egg nor sperm is from human connection, that an embryo was dropped into Mary and she was simply a surrogate, right? So,
Like an alien, right? Because that's what they're doing right now in Holland. Is that right now in Holland or Netherlands? That right now they're trying to drop an egg into a transgender, and also trying to figure out how to create. Are you aware of that? That right now that they are creating humans without actual humans in Holland.
they've actually been doing that for a while now.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they've been doing it for a long while, actually. I remember hearing about this back 15, 20 years, I feel like. That they've been trying this for the longest, and they will be able to succeed in
I
some
think they finally
way,
made it
shape, or
legal to
form.
do it. I think that they were doing it,
Correct. Yeah,
but
they
now
were
they
doing
made it
it.
a law that like it's okay to do this crazy
It's
shit.
okay.
But
Yeah.
hold on, but Trey, I wanted to like really get into, because she's about to go into. I wanted to fast forward, like, well, a little bit fast forward, because well, you know what's going to happen is that this lady is going to then conflate, like it's crazy, like the femininity with the family and how women should be, and we need to be this way.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to like get into that part of the live, because once they get past the whole like religious aspect, it's going to get into feminism and the female versus the male, and it gets real interesting, because Nepal's a feminist, and then this
She's
lady,
a feminist, but she ain't a Black Hebrew Israelite.
well, I don't know.
Because you ever heard there? No, definitely not.
Oh, so the Hebrew Israelites are not feminists.
Oh no, not by a long shot. So that's why I'm like, nah, she's not a Black Hebrew Israelite. She may have came out of the camp, but she might have once been a
Harwin's
part
in
of
the
it.
back, Trey, or he might be asleep. Trey, you awake?
Trey, you awake? I'm about to be asleep myself. So,
Trey,
oh man,
Trey, he done fell asleep.
he done fell asleep.
He was already stretching when he. That's why he turned his camera off. Yeah. I don't know. It's like it was interesting because I was like, bro, the late she would never answer a question. She would disagree, but never tell why she disagreed. And to me, I believe that I think that blind faith is like delusion at a certain point. Like just believing blindly in anything is delusional because when a person actually challenges your faith and you can't go into your book, it's like, have you read the book though? Because my thing is that the whole time that she was having this discussion, it's like she could only say, "Well, I just believe." It's like, "Well, you believe, but have you read?"
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Is
I
why?
feel like
Okay.
in Christianity, like people just go to church. The pastor reads about 2 or 3 sentences and then tell you what the story's about. Now, it might in context. If you read the rest of that whole verse that they actually do in their sermon, you might find that that story had nothing to do with what he was talking about. But what they'll do is snip it out the sermon about this sentence, take another sentence, combine all these things together, and create a sermon. And I'm like, okay, that's the problem I think with this whole preaching culture in Christianity is because it makes people lazy and they don't get to study the Bible because they think that it's enough to go to church, hear the pastor teach and preach, and never actually study and read. Now, there's some people
So I
Sunday
mean,
school and this,
I,
that, the other, but
mhm.
that's the part I have a problem with the Christian church is that people just they get lazy with it.
Well, see, I intersect with all the Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, right? They all do it. Don't get it twisted. I've realized living in a multi-religious family and living in a multi-religious city, it is the human condition that causes people to rely on their heritage and to not really dig into their religion and the belief. I see it on every front. People who will go to mosques or they'll go to temple or they'll go to church. They're here, the drash, the preaching or whatever is read from the Quran,
And that's
and
the last time they'll hear it for the rest of the week.
and that's the last time they'll hear it until the next one. So I think I actually think it's, I won't just say it's American. That's not true because I know plenty of Muslim and Jewish people from the Middle East who kind of on the same level. I ain't gonna front. I do think it's more prevalent in America now. I will say the percentage of Americans who do that compared to the percentage of people elsewhere is slightly different. But yeah, no, I found it very, yeah.
You know, I listen. I practice E5, like, and you don't even get to the next level unless you know a certain level of like information. Like, you don't get to like become a babalawo and not have to study over a certain amount of time to understand the Odu. Because there's no book about it. There's no book of the Odu. There's no, you have to like memorize it. So I believe that when they wrote all these things down, it made people lazy. People were able to create it like sermons about it and then teach people from that versus like actually learning the Odu, and then or whatever the verses of the Bible and actually studying. I think that this, and so what happens is that people will say, "Oh, it's about faith." It's like, well, no, if you actually look deeper into it, it's about way more than just faith. Well, I just have faith in this whole thing. I believe at a certain level, faith becomes delusion.
Okay. Well, Trey, I'm about to hit the sack, y'all. It's been
all right, back.
Great talking. Don't know what y'all want to get into the next topic, but
Yo, Becky, I'm back.
yeah, I'm about to leave out. I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll run it back.
All right. Have a great night, y'all.
Peace out.
Nice to meet you, Becky.
Buddy up here wilding.
Look like they subscribe everything else. That'll be something that they have.
But every church that you go to has a different representation of Jesus.
Well, science has got another thing happen. Did you know what happened to a baby? Right now, you're a woman, but
I am.
Did you know in about 4 weeks that was inside your belly is actually a fish?
No, you're
No,
wrong.
the eyes is on the side of the head like this.
Well,
Listen to me. The eyes on the side of the head like this. Listen,
I understand what
it's
you're
inside
saying.
water, right?
I understand.
Whoa. It's inside of water, right?
But it's not a fish.
Listen, and everything on earth right now started from a fish, but it was a jawless fish.
I
Listen,
disagree.
it was a jawless fish. Everything started from a jawless fish.
We disagree.
Oh, how can we disagree? Even AI gonna say this shit right because this shit's the fucking truth, right? It's called.
Please don't swear
science.
at me. No, I understand.
It's science.
I understand in evolution.
What we're talking about is okay. Actually, you're a very nice lady.
Thank
okay?
you.
So,
I teach femininity.
you teach femininity?
I do.
How can you? Why do you have to teach femininity?
Because women have lost it today.
How did they lose it?
Because they're trying to compete with men as men,
So
and we've
you-
lost our
So
femininity.
you think femininity is just
point
talking
there.
like this?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's
I
not me at
see.
all.
No. When you say that women have been fierce, you're African.
I
Do you know
am.
they're fierce African warrior women?
Absolutely, but they're
So-
still
so
feminine.
How are they feminine when they were slicing people's heads off, ripping them apart?
You know what?
You're saying you teach femininity.
I
I'm going
do.
to gamble and say that you teach them not to do those things.
Well, people do what they have to do in the time that they live to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our animals. We don't do that
So they
anymore.
don't have to survive today.
I didn't say that. What
Well,
I said that.
You said women lost it today.
I said women lost their femininity. Please don't speak for me.
Well, no, you said women lost their femininity today, and I said you're from Africa.
I
women
am.
were warriors.
Women
You said
were
they had to do it back then.
not
but
only-
today you said they don't have to do it now. They don't have to survive. Women.
What I said is we all did what we had to survive in the time
And they
that we
don't do
were
that
living.
today?
If I may
Women don't-
finish.
No, you can finish. I'm asking you, do they do it today?
Yes,
So you teach femininity.
I
You
do.
teach women that they should be sweet and kind or be warriors?
I teach women that they shouldn't be men.
Wait a minute. Do you teach them to be sweet and kind or do you teach them to be warriors?
If you want to
if
be,
a woman fights a man,
I wasn't
I'm
finished.
going to ask you. I gotta
Okay.
because
You've asked me
I
more
can't
times.
let this
You
niceness
sweet and
niceness
kind
throw
and
me
be
off.
a warrior.
yeah,
When
I'm
woman is-
struggling
when a
that you're
woman is
bothered by
fighting,
it.
because you said you teach femininity.
I
When
do.
a woman is fighting,
Women
do you
shouldn't
say that's
fight.
manly or
It
do you
is.
say it's feminine?
It's
So,
very masculine.
If it's manly,
It
they
is.
are warriors
Yes.
today, and they don't have to survive today. But in the past, when they were warriors, it's okay.
Okay, if I may answer you,
Sure.
again, we all do what we have to do to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our own animals. I don't know if you're a mother. I'll speak for myself.
I'm
I have
talking
two
about
boys.
warriors, not farmers, not husbandry.
If
I'm talking
I
about
may-
warriors.
If I may answer,
Sure, answer, please. I'm waiting.
I consider myself a very kind and nonviolent person. However, cross me about my boys, it'll be a very different story.
What
So
will you
if you're
do?
in
What will you do? Will you still
whatever
be
I have
feminine?
to,
So
not in
basically,
that
it's a
moment.
time and a place, Nepal. You ain't gotta argue everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, so women can't fight.
I
or they're
never
manly.
said that. I never said that.
You did.
There
you said
were
it's
women-
masculine to fight.
It is masculine to
so
fight.
women can't fight or they're manly.
You can be a woman and have masculine moments. I'll give you an example.
Mhm.
I'm a boy mom. There are times that I have to say, hey, get over
So
here.
you're manly.
In that moment, yes. But
so
when
why
I'm
are
with,
you teaching femininity if you're manly?
because
But that's not manly to say, "Hey, get over here."
Nepal
And
is
so
If
tripping.
you're
can you.
manly, they
And-
can't.
No, absolutely. What I'm saying is the women who come to me want to be in a relationship with a masculine man. A masculine man requires a feminine woman, full stop.
Mhm.
All right. So
Mhm.
if you want to be with a masculine man, oftentimes women today do not realize how masculine they have become. I'll give you another real world example. I'm a former executive. When you have to lead people and manage budgets and do all these things with millions, you take on that masculine energy and you don't know sometimes how to turn it off and be nice and sweet when you're in a nurturing mode, when you're with your
Exactly.
husband.
Who's the
with-
governor of that? Who decides? You?
Right now,
Because you're
she
a
cooking
femininity
Nepal.
coach. So you
Nepal
decide
tripping.
that when women are ready to be manly, they can be manly. You're calling it man.
Yeah, it's a
You call
time
it
and a
manly
place.
to be assertive. You call it
Being
manly.
an unruly woman,
See, so you can
over
decide
talking for no
'cause you're
reason,
For
ain't got
me-
nothing to do with
but
when it's time to protect
there
your
are
family.
so many women. There's
Nepal
And
tripping.
not
millions
every
of people.
and not
You-
everybody is my
so
student.
How do you get to be an authority on who's feminine and who's not?
I'm not the
Oh,
authority
you
for
just said you're a
everyone.
femininity coach.
I am. When women come
So
to
you're not
me,
an authority. So I
because
should
they-
listen to you.
no, you shouldn't.
Okay,
Because they
no one
want
should-
what I
no one should
have.
listen to you.
No.
Thank you. She said it.
No.
one should. So
I
you're
said
not, so you don't know
you-
anything about femininity because femininity isn't being nice and sweet. And guess what? Femininity is about fighting because
I disagree.
Because guess what? Females, lions, fight to the death while the male sits back. Women and mothers, like you
Man,
said,
pause this.
fight for their children. You said it's manly to fight.
It
so You are
is.
not. Which one is it?
Nobody is feminine 100% of the time. And if a man loses a family member and he is heartbroken and crying, that is not a masculine moment. That is
I think we need to redefine we need to redefine that crying is not being masculine. We need to redefine that being fighting isn't not being feminine. That's the problem. It's a social thing.
You can define it however you want to. All I'm saying is there is a natural biology.
So is it
wow,
wrong?
You really
No, is it wrong for your sons to cry if they
absolutely
if
not?
Interrupting is very
is it wrong if your son gets hit by another person, he cries, and they say you're a sissy?
That's absolutely
by your
wrong.
standards. He's being feminine crying.
If
right?
he's a boy, that's expected. If he's a man, absolutely not.
He'll defend. If a man gets punched in the face and
he's going to punch you back.
So wait, men can't cry?
I never said that.
Yes, you just
Are you
did.
listening?
You
No,
just said it.
I said we are not masculine 100% of the time, and we are not feminine 100% of the time. Whatever outcome the woman wants, the women that come to me because you said I shouldn't be the authority. I am not the authority. I am just a mom on the internet.
Right.
But women come to me because they want what I have. They see something in me that they do not see in somebody like you.
Oh,
and they say, you know what, Maggie, I would love to have a relationship like yours. I would love to be able to communicate like you. I would like to be able to keep my composure like you. I would love to be able to have respect of men that do not know me. How can I do that?
Give them everything you got then, because the only way you can do it. Because no matter what you do, hold up, you just said they come to you and they say, look, everything that you got. So if you want to help them, give them everything that you got.
I do.
Hold up. No, give them everything. You should have nothing left for yourself.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, if you gave them everything, if they like everything that you like, if I like your shirt and you give me your shirt, you have no other shirt.
Right.
Or if you gave your shirt right now, you'll be shirtless.
That is true.
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you are fighting for things. And listen, I said to talk, you're beautiful. I love you. I love everything you said. I'm gonna say this. I cry all the time. I cry before I started.
You're masculine,
right? But I'm masculine and femininity. They exist together.
Yes, it's called polarity. We do agree.
Right?
Yes.
It's both. But I don't want a woman. Like a lot of men want a submissive woman. I don't want a submissive woman.
Because you're not a masculine man.
Listen. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Oh wow.
Let me tell you this. I'm something that you probably don't understand, right? A masculine man is going to tell you what to do. They're going to attach you. They're going to try to hold you down. Listen to me. Hold up. Listen to me. I exist in both. I'm both masculine and feminine, right? Because I understand the duality of both. I understand that my mind have a left and a right side. I activate them both, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, right? I'm not going to define what's masculinity to you and what is not. But I don't want to submit to a woman, because once you tell a woman to submit to you, that's me telling the woman that I'm above her. I'm not above no woman. Hold up. If that's the case, when a child come out, then the mother should automatically submit to the child if the child is a male. Hold up, because you're suggesting that I am above you, right? That
my
you
man is.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: you're in prison, and listen, and I'm gonna say this: and
I'm happy.
Listen to me. You're in prison.
I'm
your
not.
man is fine what you do, and that's a life that you shouldn't want to live.
You're
right?
wrong,
because you have been programmed to believe that submitting is something that you want to do, but in reality, in your mind, right now, know what you're doing right now? You're wearing what they call a mask. Right now, you're doing this.
Yes. Then who's the real me?
I can just ask your husband. He'll tell you when you're mad. Yeah. That's what you do, and that's who the fuck you is. And you want to sit there and act like that's not who the fuck you is. Shut the fuck up talking when I'm talking. Don't you fucking talk again. Why the fuck are you talking?
No.
So
why you
talking?
Because I can't. Are you going to be disrespectful? I was respectful to you.
It's the fact that you.
But did I answer you?
No, you still holding in. I just
because it's called composure.
You should stand up for yourself. No.
You
should
stand up for composure, nigga.
Following in. When you leave, you know what you're gonna say? That motherfucker in there yelling at me. He's doing all this shit.
I don't have to say it because you made
a great point.
You made
you're not being yourself.
You don't know me.
No,
you don't know me at all.
You're a human being, and I know that the way you're reacting to someone doing that is not natural.
It's called composure.
No, it's called you're being. You're ma'am.
Who is shaking? Oh, she's shaking.
You.
See Jabari, big goofy head ass in the background, cool with this shit.
I am not angry. Because I don't respect you.
There's nothing wrong with being angry.
I don't respect you.
Go where you respect it. You can't get respect. Listen,
you can shout
listen,
at me,
listen,
but I don't
listen,
even know you. You
listen,
shouted at me and you slammed the table.
You listen. You disrespect me since you've been here. You say I was.
How did I just? Oh yeah, I said you're not a masculine man. Yeah,
hold on.
That's
Everything that you said was disrespect, but you, listen. Everything I said to you was polite. Was giving you nothing but love, right? Yeah. But the moment I said something you didn't like, you're gonna say that disrespect. But you never acknowledged when I said something good to you.
But you said you
never acknowledged it.
No.
Hold up, stop.
I said
hold up. You never acknowledged when I said something good to you. But the moment I say something you don't like, you acknowledge that. But that's how people is in the world. They acknowledge what's bad. They never acknowledge what they could figure is good.
Okay, may I speak?
Why should I allow you to speak when you won't even accept my kindness?
I did. When you gave me the compliment, I said thank you. But you told me you loved me, and I said you don't even know me.
Define love. Love is both. Listen, I'm saying this. You don't think you know love. I don't know. I know you don't know love because love is both.
I am so loved.
If you were so loved, then everybody you love, you never was mad at.
That's not true.
So love exists.
Mad is an emotion.
So love exists, and all the emotions exist inside love. So you can't determine whether I love you or not.
I would disagree.
You can't determine that.
If I may speak, I think when you love somebody, you're actually madder at them than someone you don't love. Take your children, right? If your children disobey you, if you see a kid acting out in the store, falling out, you're like, well, there they go. But if you see your kid misbehaving, you're even angrier because you want a better outcome for them. Because
if I see my kid fall, I'm not gonna think that you're trying to make me and your reality. This is what I'm saying. Love is unconditional. It no matter what you do to me.
I disagree.
No matter what you do to me, no matter what I do to you, love will still be there, right? That's true love.
Yeah,
that's true love, right? Fake love become determined by you do this, I give you love. You do this, I give you this, right? That's fake. Real love exists inside of everything if it's real love.
I agree, but I do think it has to be earned, and I think it has to be maintained.
I ain't earning no love from nobody.
That's fine.
Because like once you got to earn it, you're gonna have to continue earning it.
Does a newborn have to earn love when it comes out of your womb?
For children, it's different.
So,
however,
you see how you have different.
No, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I was just going to say,
I think she's wrong about love, though. I think that she's wrong about her assessment of love.
Aside, right? Because they come how they come, right?
That's just, again,
my faith, the purity of a baby being born. Let's talk about relationships because that's something that I'm passionate about. I can love my man, but if he doesn't continue to do the things that make me love him, that love is going to fade. We have to. That's why it's called keeping the home fires burning. I think as women, that is our responsibility. That's part of our nurturing. A relationship is not just going to be beautiful and bright just because I told you one time that I love you. If I'm not doing those loving things, you're going to feel slighted from me, and over time, that love will fade. How many times have we heard people say we fell out of love, or it's just not there anymore because we didn't put the work in to maintain it?
They never loved you in the first place because you said, listen.
I
love,
disagree.
Listen, if you let, I'm saying this.
Okay.
Right? If you love somebody,
yes,
love never leaves.
That's true.
The moment it leaves, it never was love. So I'm gonna say this, right?
Okay.
People confuse love with attachments, meaning that if you sit here, if you do everything I tell you to do, then I can give you my love. But the moment you leave, that love disappears. The moment you disobey me, that love disappears. So that I believe is not love. The true love that you said that we both agree on, all of us, that when the baby came in, they got that love.
That's true.
So I say that when you love somebody, it should be that love.
Well,
and if it's not that love, then it's not love at all.
That's fair. I agree with you. And even the Bible that neither of you agree with has different.
I never say I agree with the Bible.
Okay, my mistake then.
I agree.
I believe it's Greek, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I believe it's Greek that has different words for different types of love, right? Roman, right. So
there's
agape, erotic,
right.
And then we have philo love,
right? Brotherly.
So this is the thing I'm trying to understand with you.
Okay.
Are you do femininity coaching?
Yes.
You say, well, if my husband keeps on doing everything fine, that's great, but if he stops loving me, do you stop submitting? Or what do? You just go and start internalizing everything?
I think submission is.
Yeah.
Hey, so what are your thoughts?
But you can stop this video.
It's a choice.
Hold on.
Yeah, bro, you can stop the dude, buddy
The
up
mute,
here.
the mute buttons on it. You can't even hear what you're saying. You have mute.
Any relationship, we'll put love relationships to the side. You can't be a good employee and not show up. You can't be a good mother, sister, friend. You have to continue to do the things that bring that relationship closer. So yes, if your husband stops doing the things, if your wife stops sleeping with
I
you,
want to go back to the mother thing.
I ain't slept with her. She watching this. I haven't slept with her about 13 months to this day. She still there, will not leave. This is true.
I believe you.
Oh, I know that's true.
It's true. This is true.
I believe you.
I'm saying this was a choice that I made.
I understand.
The choice that I made, don't say I don't love someone because I don't want to stick my dick in.
Can you speak to me without swearing?
Listen, it's a thing, right? I could speak to you without swearing if you could speak to me as you.
I don't know what
You gonna tell her what she
before
being
you
and what she not being.
become a femininity coach and decided that you knew everything about
when
femininity.
I never said I know everything. I took my own
Speak to
courses.
me like you was before you started speaking like that. And
Well, that
I
cost
speak
me
no
my
profanity.
marriage. Here's the
That
thing.
ain't cost your marriage. Your husband left you because he didn't see who you was.
Hey, man, I'm gonna head out. Buddy tripping.
You never lost shit, right? Because you are whole. I'm sorry. I don't want to cuss. You say don't cuss in front of me. I'm gonna say this. You are beautiful. You never lost nothing. Nothing never cost you nothing.
But how do you know
Anything
if you weren't
because
there?
you are beautiful. Listen, because everything. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Anything that comes from you is beautiful. Yes, you probably made mistakes. Everything make mistakes. But if somebody
No,
loves you,
I'm
they're
a
gonna love you
sinner.
through
I'm
it.
a hopeless sinner.
No, you're not. You're
Okay.
not. Sinner is a sine wave. You were born in a wave of energy, right? The words have been changed and things are different.
I have made mistakes.
Oh,
I
man,
have
you submitting to a God, you submitting to a man, you living your life submitting.
And I am so happy
Stand up.
because men are leaders. Yes. Yes.
When you sat down, you said, "Why are we in a prison if we didn't do any crime?" But
Right.
you admit to being a sinner,
Right.
And sin is a crime, so that's why you're in a prison planet.
Well,
if you want to go by that,
okay.
Being in a prison planet isn't just about. There's nothing inside of. He said there's nothing inside of that body.
Oh my.
So did y'all want to elaborate on anything that was said or been said?
It's interesting that I actually agree with Uncle Napa about how she sees herself. Like she just said that, I'm a sinner, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, no, you're not. Like, I mean, I don't believe, like, why would you take on that personality of that I'm lowly, I need to be on my knees begging and whatever and this docile, like submissive, like I need to submit to everything. What? Like, no, but you know what? I'm not a submissive woman. I'm like, I think there's different archetypes. You can't convince a woman that have the archetype of being a submissive to the archetype of being dominant. So I'm a dominant woman. So to me, when I see this, I'm like, okay, I see what the pa is saying. But the men are is like, no, they're ganging up on her and they're wrong. And it's like, okay, well, I think that, for those people that look at women a certain way, that women should not have to bow down and submit and be and submit to everything. It's saying that she's wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Hello? Did he fall asleep again? He asked the question. Y'all wanted him to take the video off, but did he fall asleep again?
I'm not asleep, Genesis.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what happened? Okay. But yeah, so what do you think about it?
Man, it's a lot of rhetoric up here. One thing about it, we can guess what we know. We're not going to know until we die. And ain't now one of us died.
Right, but I'm saying what's happening also is she's talking about relationships, right? She talked about love. She said that love is conditional. If a man is not doing what initially he said he's going to do, then you fall out of love with that you can fall out of love with that man. So, but my thing is that if you really love a person truly, You never fall out of love because he's not doing, because you never know why he's not. It's all the context, everything. I believe that people are doing the best that they can at any given moment. At that moment, that man might be doing the best he can. So why would you then take your love away from him? Oh, because he didn't do like how when we first started our relationship, he's not behaving the same way. Well, what's the context of that? Why is he not? You know? So like I see where Unk and Nepal are coming from. People get so indoctrinated and so like wrapped up into like whatever their beliefs are. But in reality, like when she talked about love itself, I don't believe that a person that looks at themselves as a sinner, that's lowly, that's on their knees, could ever understand love, because love does not beat you down, it builds you up. She would never feel like she was a lowly sinner if she really felt love correctly. How can she say that she understands love and she feels like lowly, like a sinner on her knees? You know.
Maybe she's just misguided. That's all.
But it's hard for like some of these men. Someone says love is conditional. Hell no, it's not. It should not. It shouldn't be. Why is love conditional?
True love is
Unconditional. She did say that. She ain't say none of that bullshit. Run the tape back. She's speaking 100% religious doctrine. That's exactly what she's doing. She feels like that a man. She says she's a coach, right? I'm a relationship coach, but she doesn't even understand what love truly is. How could you take direction from a woman that's a coach? She actually said, if you actually listen to her, she said that women follow her because they want what she has and they see whatever she's got going on and they want the relationship that she has. How could you want a relationship where if the moment that man is not doing exactly what he did when he came into the relationship, that you no longer love that guy? Now this man could have gotten an accident. It could be any reason why this guy is not performing at the. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Nah, I didn't say that.
Oh, I mean, it could be any reason why that man is not performing at the level that you met him on. He might be depressed. He might have gotten into an accident. He might have lost his job. Whatever the reason is, if he's not operating on that same level that I met him on, I can then take my love away from him. You never love that guy. If you could take your love away from that person, you never loved them to begin with, because love can't easily be taken away. Just like we talked about like children. So, well, you can't equate having a baby and how you love a baby. Listen, my daughter, if she gets A's on her report card and she gets D's and F's on her, I still love her the same. But they say that's different, right? The way I love my children should be different from the way I love my husband that actually gave the children to me. That we came together and made sure there's a separation in how I love these two beings. People don't understand what love is. So there's no way that this lady should be a relationship coach at all. I think she has a lot more growing to do. She said that she got divorced in one relationship because she was being too much of a boss babe, right? And then that guy told her whatever, and he divorced her for whatever reason because she was too bossy. And so then she took on this persona of being submissive and soft spoken and composed, when probably sure she was raised in hell before. But the thing is, now all you're doing is bottling up your emotions and being a people pleaser. And all that's going to do is make you sick. You know, when you finally get to exude, it's gonna show up in illness. You know, if you can't express yourself in a marriage or any relationship, it shows up in the body as illness. You have to be able to express yourself, talk about how you feel. If that man can't accept how you feel, he ain't the one for you, ma'am. I gotta be quiet because it makes you feel uncomfortable. No, I'm uncomfortable right now, and I need to be able to express how I feel. and you should be able to do the same thing. That's true love, and I should be able to accept it when you don't feel right, and you should be able. That's marriage. That's what marriage should be. I don't know. She didn't say anything you're talking about. Yeah, she didn't because she objected to anything anybody had to say. She didn't agree to nothing. Everything that somebody said, I disagree. She never explained why she disagreed. She just said I disagree, and that was it. She didn't say nothing. All she said was I disagree, and then she outlined whatever the fuck it was that she believes in, which is a bunch of bullshit. 607 Unc gave her like all like the most like I mean he was like you're beautiful, you're this, and the whole time he was telling her that she was beautiful, she talked against it. That is low self esteem. That is she can't even accept someone being kind to her. The moment he was like, you're beautiful, whatever, I love you, whatever, she was like, you don't even know me. Everything is about like negative, and that's sad. That's low. That's a very, as much as she tries to exude self esteem, that's low self esteem. Why could you think that someone couldn't meet you and immediately love you? Why do you feel unlovable? If someone says, I love you, yeah, I know I'm lovable. So yeah, thank you. I love you too, sir. Mutual. Why can't we just be able to love each other and not have a stipulation on it? Her understanding of love is to know her and to do what whatever her rundown or whatever love means. That's why she couldn't accept love off the rip of somebody saying, you know what, I love you, right? You can't accept love off of like nothing, like a person just loving you for no reason whatsoever. And you're supposed to be a Christian, and Christians are supposed to have love for each other, right? Brotherly love, my brother, and all this other Christian stuff. But she says, well, you don't know me, so you can't love me. Well, what's wrong? Well, that's not according to Christianity. So as much as people were saying that they couldn't take it and I'm leaving, everybody whenever they're gonna leave, they're like make an announcement. Oh, I just gotta go. Well, honey, you don't have to like announce it. Oh, this is too much. Oh, I'm about to leave. Well, why? Because it's not agreeing with whatever you have in your mind or what you think that the reality should be. That's when I like actually covered this subject. I said, you know what? For the most part, a lot of people they follow this religion, and there's a pastor that sit there and give them the scripture every single Sunday, and that's the furthest they go with it. And I believe that people need to get into more like spiritual stuff to like really get into their like really their true self. Because a lot of this stuff, this indoctrination that happens, it's not really getting to the core of who you are. You become like a person that doesn't even understand like the basics of love and respect for one another. She couldn't even accept 607 Unc saying, listen, the whole time, if you actually watch the entire like live stream, now he did make a example. He did it on purpose. She couldn't even understand that he was actually trying to show her something because she was being so defensive that she didn't even see the play he did. When he was yelling at her, he was trying to get her to show her real voice because she was up there trying to posture and be the dating coach of the century. She was putting on a facade. So he said, okay, well, let me just start yelling at her. Let me see if it jostles her enough to actually show like, don't do this. Don't do that. Okay. But life is in reality is not like that. There's going to be times when you're going to be yelled at. It's going to be times people shake the table. And are you going to just sit there and be like, just don't yell at me? No, you're going to be like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Hell no. So he's saying, man, you need to like stand up for yourself, right? I'm yelling at you, stand up. Don't just sit down and let somebody doormat you and yell at you. So other people didn't see what he was doing for what it was. I saw it. Like, no, I yelled at you, and instead of you standing up for yourself and saying, don't talk to me this way and bump all this, Like she didn't have to like go toe to toe with him, but no, don't talk to me like that. And in a stern voice, and that don't mean that she's being masculine. She said that women fighting is a masculine thing. And I showed a video on my channel of a lioness. Man, the lion slapped the little baby cub lion, and honey, she looked at that lion, didn't she? Got up close to that lion's face, that male lion face, stood there for a second, and then slapped the shit out of him with her paw. And I don't think that was masculine. I think that was very feminine. That was a very feminine thing to do. I think that the miscalculation that femininity is this soft, docile thing that don't speak back, that don't say nothing back, that just sit up there and just don't say nothing and be a doormat is a lie. There are different archetypes of women. You know, you have your warrior type of women, you have the hoe type of women, you have like the homemaker type of women. But what happens is that when men want to make women into a monolith of all these things. Okay, all women are hoes. All women should be like the housemaker. The all women that are like strong and whatever are men. They're trying to be like a man, whatever. But in reality, there's different types of women. If you want a more docile like woman, you find that type of woman. There's more women out here than men. It should not be that hard to find a woman that you want that's going to be that woman that you like. And that's pretty much. I'm done. I'm down about my total pole. My damn speaker box. If you ain't fell asleep yet. She disrespected him first. She told him, "I don't respect you as a man." She told him that you're not a masculine man. She said, "Because I don't respect you." She came with disrespect before he ever disrespected her. But see that a lot of like time, like when a person is saying what you think that you want to hear, you don't hear the everything else that's really going on, because that woman was saying what you think that you want to hear as a man or whatever the heck it is. But in reality, like she was very disrespectful to Unc. I don't even know who you are. It's his show. What the fuck are you there for? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be on a show with a person and you say I don't even know who you are? That's disrespectful. He says, "Listen, I'm not gonna think about you after this." But there was a point that he was trying to make is that don't think I'm trying to push up on you. You're beautiful and everything, but I'm not trying to push up on you. She took it personally, and so she tried to like jab back with, "I don't even know who you are because you're not a match." So what she did was she took what he said, she got upset, and then she weaponized everything that he said and looked for moments to jab him back because it hurt her feelings. Y'all need to like understand how psychology of this so-called like feminine woman. See, y'all got rocked to sleep by the soft voice, but she was being very passive aggressive. And the more that you actually watch this thing, she was interrupting just as much as the power was. She was what she would do is keep interrupting 607, and then when she got in front of the pop, it became a cat fight. Then she's okay, yeah, with you, I'll go toe to toe with you, but on the male side, I don't respect you as a man, so I'm gonna sit up here and just keep fucking interrupting you and keep talking the whole time. And that's why he was like, you know what, stop talking when I'm talking. Because I bet you with her so-called man that she respects, he probably got to tell her the same thing. And she just think that because she talks softly, that she's really being feminine and not being like passive aggressive. So, all right, let's be feminine and passive aggressive with our shit. I'm going to talk real soft and just keep interrupting you in a really soft way. And I'm being feminine, so you shouldn't be upset with it. Because I'm talking so softly and interrupting. No, that's not. I don't believe that. Oh, man. Oh, my God. No. What the fuck? Would you rather a person just keep antagonizing you with soft voice? Shit. Honey, at least you can get it over with. With a person that's like kind of like asserting herself, you can say, you know what? Okay, and we can come to an agreement somehow. But a person that's just softly just saying, no, I disagree with no context. You know what I'm saying? No context whatsoever. You just disagree for no fucking reason. Why do you disagree, man? I just disagree. I don't really think I should have to like argue. I don't think the woman should argue. I think we should be very docile and just don't say nothing and just be quiet. And now you don't even know what the hell you're even arguing about. Come on now, that all that shit is a manipulation tactic. She's very clever and very manipulative. And y'all need to understand the difference between this docile bullshit and real when you're being manipulated by these women because she's soft spoken. That's what we want. This soft spoken. She gonna cook. She gonna do this, and she gonna manipulate the fuck out of you. I don't know where Trey is. Where you at, bro? I wasn't trying to give a diatribe, but you know, Trey, you there? Anyways, y'all, I don't know what's going on. You reach it. There you go. I'm with you 100%. Yeah, exactly. Trey, wake up. I don't know where. I don't know. I think Willie and Trey are asleep. But I said what I had to say. You know, honey, I don't even know. Trey over here sleeping. I think Willie's sleeping too. I hear like a kid's song in the background. I'm hearing like doom 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 doom. Listen, y'all, I gotta go. This was a great show. Much love, guys. Peace.
What up, Kim?
In the law.
You say what?
In the law.
You know, y'all done talking?
I never got on there to talk to nobody, but that lady, she done talking. She left.